One of the things I think the show is doing so well is I'm not even caught up in whatever these rumors are at this point. I just want to see Clare's season. Like, forget what you've heard, what you think you know. And I feel like Chris even says that at the top of the episode when we see a preview. It's like, whatever you think you know, you don't know. And I don't even care anymore. I just am excited that it's here and we get to see it. But before we get the tea from Clare, I'm so curious, Becca, because I want to hear your take on the major moments that went down last night. Because it was a lot. So let's talk about it. And let's just start with that opening teaser. I mean, talk about making you want more.
Right. Well, I mean, let's be honest. The show is great at adding in those teasers all throughout the season. At the beginning, they have the super tease in the middle. But it's just a lot of emotion, I feel like. It's like the highs and the lows. And what I found very interesting is that her season is so vastly different from ours or probably any other Bachelor or Bachelorette that has done this, simply because of the fact that we were in the middle of a pandemic and it's COVID and like they're doing this all in quarantine. And that's the sentiment you get. Like, you see Clare in the beginning. She's announced as Bachelorette. Chris Harrison FaceTimes her. She's so excited. She's like on the peak of this mountain and then comes crashing down real hard where she doesn't know, like, am I even going to be Bachelorette? Like, I've waited so long for this to be my time. And like, is this going to be taken from me? So that in itself, even before the season starts, she's already like riding this roller coaster that so much more is yet to come. And that's something that none of us have ever experienced before. Like, when we were announced Bachelorette, we went straight into filming. Our phones were taken away. And that is so vastly different. Like, she was able to still stay in quarantine and have her phone. All of the men were still able to have their phones and film. And so I like that it's a very different take on the beginning of a new season.
Yeah. And I think, we spoke to Clare, before her season started and talked to her about it. And like we joked about the advantage that she's had to deep dive into who her men are, which I think is great. Now I don't know, I didn't pay attention to the first announcement of the men, so I don't know if new ones were added or not. I'm not even sure, but she had an advantage that we never have before. But at the same time, she at least knew she was going to be the Bachelorette, and she didn't know when her season was going to start, but they always assured her that she was getting her season. So just the anticipation and even preparing yourself for knowing exactly, because I think that with us, we're so rushed. Our adrenaline is so up. You almost don't even get to appreciate it. You do appreciate it, but not the same way because you're just in it and you're just going on fumes. Whereas with Clare could truly mentally prepare for what she was about to walk into, who she was about to meet, and what she wanted for herself and to get out of it. So I think it's great. Now, this opening teaser, woo, we had never seen anything like it. From the iconic, I listen to this podcast, Danny Pellegrino, and he's always like, this podcast is called Everything Iconic, and he always is like, Queen Icon Legend, Becca Kufrin. Like, that's what he would say. So I'm like, I was about to say Chris Harrison iconic line, but then I'm like, King Icon Legend Chris Harrison. From him making the comment of, you blew up the Bachelorette, to the foreshadowing we see with Clare and Del, and then like, the guys saying things about Del and the walkout that apparently happens or whatever it is, and cameramen running after people. And I'm like, what is going on? I've never seen a teaser like this before.
No. And it's so crazy because I feel, and Rachel and I have talked about this away from recording this, but you always walk in and you're prepped in a certain way. Like, you want to find your partner out of this. You want to find your husband. Like, if they can get that little bit of you saying, I see my husband in this room, they're like, great, we got it. We did our job for the night. But the fact that is so sped up in this season, where, like you said, it is foreshadowing her feelings for one man. It's crazy. And I'm watching this teaser like, is this for real? Or is this like, are they sprinkling in drama to make us think one way and then something else happens? Like, my mind is racing all these different directions.